Can we eat at a restaurant with food allergies? The short answer is yes, with pre-planning. I'm going to show you what to do so that you feel the safest in leaving the house and going to a restaurant. Here are some pro tips. First, questions are the answers on feeling safe and understood. Going out to eat takes pre-planning, communication, and careful consideration. Unfortunately, the idea of being spontaneous and eating out is not really the norm with food allergy families, at least not in the beginning until you develop more of a comfort level and a repeated pattern. So here's what you need to think about as you learn to navigate safety precautions. Here are some questions to consider. Try and keep these open-ended to prompt an explanation and detail from the chef or the restaurant manager. So first, you can start with what your food allergies of concern are, and then ask, what is the restaurant's experience with accommodating food allergies? Do you have safe choices for avoiding my specific allergens? Do you have a separate menu for food allergy safe meals? Am I able to look at some of the ingredients myself? And can you share these if we select an item that we want to try to ensure safety? How do you avoid cross-contact in your kitchen? Will you be there on a specific day and time? If not, who may we speak with when we arrive that will know our situation? These are just some of the questions. I'll make sure to include them as a download for you to consider, but you can think of your own as well and keep them in a handy place. When you call ahead and speak to a manager and mention you'll be arriving, it's a good thing for both sides. You can ask to see them in person and speak to a chef too for your own comfort level. Restaurants are used to people who need these special accommodations to make room for these talks. Pre-calling, if you can, is ideal during non-peak hours. And speaking to a restaurant manager when they expect your arrival is even better. When you discuss your food concerns and you build this rapport on the phone, the manager will also alert the chef ahead of your arrival. And that way, the chef will be available to speak directly to you when you arrive as well. This may seem overwhelming at first, but I assure you, as you get some practice and you see the response from the restaurants, you'll understand that it really is a partnership in the name of safety. Arriving outside of peak hours is a great best practice. You won't feel rushed. You'll get more attentive care. And you can look for the non-peak times based on average visitors with tools such as Google Maps. And these give you a nice view of when it's best to arrive. Not only will you find fewer potential encounters with food allergens, but you'll also get the attentive care and just not feel rushed with your questions. The fourth tip is to bring a wallet-sized printed card with the food allergens listed. This is a good idea because it keeps communication aligned across anybody and everybody who touches the process of making the food, serving the food, and preparing it, etc. So when you hand this to the server, they can take it back to the chef, the kitchen staff, and ensure that there is no cross-contact, the food allergens are paid attention to, and there's no information that was verbally lost in translation. And it just makes it extra clear. Always have one on hand for the restaurant staff, but you can also just keep an extra one in your wallet. Ask that you have it returned with the check. Sometimes the server will give it back to you after you make your order. But this is a good best practice just to give them the expectation that here's the meal we would like. I'm hoping you can inform the kitchen It just keep this with you until the food is prepared and eaten, and give it back to us at the end of the meal. Lastly, this is the most perhaps important way to start, and maybe 5 should have been the first tip. This is about the mentality that you arrive with. Use a team-based approach. Yes, you are the paying customer, but the kitchen, the restaurant, everybody is working hard to give you the best experience possible, but communicate respectfully, collaboratively, and with humility. This is a very high stakes situation with safety, and a lot of times fear can drive a little bit more of that controlling edge. But we really want to stay calm and have the communication be well received so that there is a common objective in just keeping the goal on safety and enjoying a great meal. Have fun and go for it. Don't let food allergies hold back your experience. You can do this, and I am proof that we do this with success, even with kids who have 8 categories of food allergies.